Welcome to the Arlanders Podcast. Arlanders Podcast is here to shed light on all things business in the outdoors. My name is Chime, and I'm here with my good amigo Kingston.
What's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
We got a good one this episode, I think.
I think so, too. It's definitely what you do. It ties in exactly what you do. Yeah, exactly.
We are going to talk about working on the road.
Yep.
Which we both do, but I do a lot of.
Yeah.
So where should we start?
I think what we should start is, let's just start with something super fresh in your mind. You just got back from Utah.
Yeah.
It was a work and play trip.
It was.
But you were out there for a reason. They got you out there for the play, and then you also turned it into a work trip.
Yeah. So let's see here. So I went to Utah, and I went to go snowmobiling, ultimately.
Yep.
Which I did, and it was fun. It was amazing.
It looked amazing.
And I want to buy a snowmobile.
Don't do that. You cannot do that.
Next season. It's kind of cool because then I get to experience it and be like, all right, can't use one for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And then the summer or the winter will come and I'll be like, remember that time I went snowmobiling? Anyways, so basically I did film some stuff on the snowmobiling part, but I did get hired to do a video and photos for a client. And that was not a part of the snowmobiling thing, but we did, or I did shoot some content for this client.
Yes, you did.
And produced a video of about I think it was like 4 to 6 minutes, I think it was.
Of basically the client video.
Yeah, the client video. Okay, so, yeah. And then like 15 or 20 images of the trip. So basically I went from Park City.
Okay.
And I traveled down to St. George area, so southern Utah, and camped and created a little inspo video. It's like basically the idea was to create a video that inspired people to get out and use the product and whatnot. So
totally.
That's basically what I did.
And so on the episode of not life on the road, but working on the road, I think there's a lot of hurdles that people need to kind of overcome to get super used to it and really dial in their workflow on the road.
Yeah.
You have yours dialed in very well.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, when we go on a trip together, you go missing and I'm like, where'd this guy go? And then I look inside the Super Pacific camper and you're standing in it, editing on the road.
Yeah. So the main reason behind the build was to work on the road. We're like a little mini production vehicle. And so I can sit in the camper and use it as a desk. Like the thing that the fridge slides into is higher than the rest of the benches. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you can use it as a desk. And I have Red Arc Red Vision system in there. So basically that is the brain of all the electronics. So it controls everything, controls the solar, the water tank levels, the temperature. There's like temperature gauge. It powers the diesel heater. Like it's everything.
Totally.
Anything electrical goes through this Red Vision system. So what also goes through it is an inverter that has basically like a wall plug that you can like charge your laptop and stuff off of, with a couple little USB ports as well. And so I can charge camera batteries, laptop, GoPro batteries,
the whole 9,
basically everything,
essentially everything you're using. Because I think the 2 biggest ones that'd be my concern would be, how do I charge my laptop if I'm working on the road?
Yep.
And then how would I charge my equipment? So that includes like cameras, GoPros, because those, I'm not even sure what they call them. What are the plugins to the wall? Is that AV or AC? I don't know.
Oh, the wall plug, AC.
That's AC.
Yeah.
So most cars wouldn't have that, or most trucks wouldn't have that in the back.
Yeah. I think like my truck has it, but it only works when the truck's on.
See,
or at least that's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is like dedicated battery, dedicated whole electrical system. So you're draining just one lithium battery.
Yep.
And it has plenty of power. It's like 105 amp hours, which is plenty.
And that one's
And
actually
then
separate from
the starter battery. Yeah.
Exactly.
And you don't want to pull power out of that battery because then you might end up stranded.
Exactly.
So yeah, this is a totally separate and dedicated system for being able to be off grid and charge things. And then the solar will charge the batteries if the truck isn't on for, a few days.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggest upgrades that I think I could have made to the dedicated system, because when I had the Montero and I didn't have a solar, like it would charge the battery when it was ran, but didn't have solar to really get those levels up.
Mm-hmm.
I would have to turn the truck on in the middle of nowhere and just run it.
Damn,
It kind of sucks.
I thought you did have solar on the Montero.
I did eventually, but that's what I'm saying. It was like one of the best upgrades when I was learning about this stuff.
To get it on there?
Yeah, to get the solar on there.
Yeah, I think that's what I should be doing. I just, my truck is older and I don't really feel
Montero's older.
It was, but that thing is like the legendary off-road vehicle.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. My truck will run, knock on wood, for a long, long time, but I definitely would like to just do some upgrades to it.
Yeah.
Solar when I told you I have it in the box, brand new, the full solar setup that I haven't even utilized yet.
Yeah. So I think for most people tend to be drawn to Goal Zero.
Yeah. Which I can understand. It's like an OG, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's like, it has an ecosystem.
Yep.
It works. Like you could use your solar panels and adapt them to the Goal Zero.
Yeah.
But they have an ecosystem of like everything that you would need.
Yep.
So car charger, home charger, solar, solar panels,
the cigarette light, all that stuff.
Yeah. So for someone, and it's funny because I was talking about the guy that cut my hair today, Tyler, has a van.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, all you need is Goal Zero, because it's just easy.
It is easy.
And it's
mobile.
You can use it anywhere. For sure. And you could just pull it out out of the truck. And then if you want to work outside and you want to charge your laptop, you can do that.
Yep. And the solar panels that Kingston is running currently, or the ones that I would be interested in running, the one I have in the box still, those are like stationary built solar panels. His is a flex panel, so it's soft, but mine's a rigid one.
Yeah.
But you could also get, I think Goal Zero makes them, Jackery, a bunch of different brands, but the ones that you just they're mobile. Throw out, charge up, and use them.
So that is the next thing I'm going to be introducing into my system.
Okay.
Red Arc is going to be putting out these, I don't even know what they call them, solar blankets. That's what they're called. So they fold into like a square, and then you undo them, and you can put it on the hood of the truck or windshield, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you park in the shade because summer's coming up, you can be able to take this really long, it comes with a long extension, and you throw it out onto the ground in the sun.
Yep.
And you can still get your solar.
It's badass.
And it charges. And it's I think they have anywhere from 100 to 200 watt, so it's or 50 even, for something to, supply the power to the battery.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to be in the sun.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Yeah. If you're boondocking or just
off grid.
Yeah, off the grid, I don't want to be stuck in direct sunlight. No. That's very uncomfortable.
And the other thing too is getting your truck to direct in the way that the sun is, with a wedge camper.
How do you do it?
Like this. And quick plug, if you are not yet subscribed to the Roman Lost YouTube channel, You can now watch these on.
If you want to see our ridiculous fits, our movements on hands.
Oh, you don't know? You can't. You're listening?
Oh, but you can't see us?
But you can't see us?
What should you do?
What am I doing right now?
What should they do, Kingston?
Subscribe to that Roman Lost YouTube channel.
Yeah. Wow.
You like that plug?
That was a heavy plug, but I really enjoyed it, actually.
Anyways, back to the podcast. So yes, these solar blankets are coming out, and I believe they will be coming out in the middle of in June.
Who is this? Red Arc?
Red Arc, yeah.
Red Arc's
coming hard.
Are they Australian, or where are they from?
Yeah, so Red Arc is an Australian company that's an electronics company,
Okay.
but they definitely have a heavy hand in the Australian overlanding world.
Yep.
And they are coming to America full force.
Eddie Murphy style. Coming to America.
Yeah. I love South African and Australian companies because they really make some sick products.
Well, yeah, because the shit in Australia can kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what someone was saying. So I was at Equipped One in Utah. Those guys are awesome. So all the shout outs for everyone.
If you would see Kingston's hat, if you were on YouTube,
you
would see the hat he's wearing.
See the hat. The reason he was just like the owner Paul, he was just like, the reason why they make it so well is because they can't have things fail. Because it's not, you're a part of the food chain, he says.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay.
What's that YouTube channel of the Australians? Like the Australian hardcore 4x4?
Oh, 4-wheel drive action, I think.
Fuck, dude,
so
that
fun
is
to watch.
So good.
They're
and it's
legit.
Funny because I put the smart TV in the office. So I've been watching YouTube channels and started watching like some cool ones of the US, which they're rad, really well built out. And then
but these guys,
and then I started watching their
different
shit,
level.
And I was my mentality was like, this is legit. Like, these guys,
they're like on a different level.
It's not glitz and glam. It's like if this shit messes up,
but they have sick trucks.
Yeah, and they're doing like in sandals, sandals and like board shorts, and
it puts Americans to shame for sure.
Hell yeah! But I'm stoked on that.
Yeah, it's really cool. They have some cool vehicles that aren't available here. And like. They also have terrain that is just wild.
There's some shit that, if you get stuck in it and you're in the middle of wherever they are in Australia, like...
But it's like, you can't get stuck at Alabama Hills.
No.
You know what I mean?
Those roads are essentially paved. It's so compact that they're essentially
paved. There's no
roads.
off-roading where you're going to be like, I'm just like... I don't know. Maybe I guess I haven't been on the trails that are wild, but like, it's pretty tame here compared... I guess it just depends.
It just depends on the rating you want to go. Yeah. I mean, and the cool part about trail ratings is there's a lot of apps and stuff that you can use to see what trails are gnarly. One of the apps that we like to use when we're off-roading is OnX because it gives you the ability
all the trails.
Yep, and it rates them for you.
Yep, and you can the difficulty and see how long they are, like what the weather's like.
If there's campsites available where you're going.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a do-it-all app, and it makes it super easy.
Yeah, we use it all the time. So OnX Off-Road, you can find it on the App Store. But getting back to working on the road, you know what's interesting is I do love my truck, and I love your truck too.
Yeah, you do.
This guy. But if I think I was a full-time, like if my occupation was on the road full-time, I think a van might be the trick. Yeah.
Vans they're just way more expensive.
They are.
Significantly more.
Yeah.
I mean, you're spending like $100,000, no problem.
Yeah.
For like a built out one though. I'm saying not like a empty one. Sure. It's cheap.
Yeah.
But like a fully built out one definitely costs a lot of money.
I don't even think Ford, like I would like to get a Ford Transit over a Sprinter just because like Ford, it's cheaper. And if you are shit out of luck somewhere, there's going to be probably a Ford dealership first, then a Mercedes dealership in wherever you are on a road trip.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But they don't have 4x4 Transits.
No, but if you think about it though, like what would you go on with a van?
Yeah,
that you need 4x4 on.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I get it. It would be nice to have in certain places. I'm trying to like think right now, like where I would. You know, like if I was in a van, I wouldn't be doing, it's just like my truck. I wouldn't be doing the trails that I would do in Montero in the Ram.
Totally.
But I wouldn't be doing the things I would do in a van that I would do in the Ram.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know what I mean? It's different levels.
You're separating the two classes.
Yeah.
Because also if
I'm in a van, I'm chilling like somewhere chill.
Exploring.
And then taking the dirt bike out.
Yep.
And like, you know what I mean? Like, which would be the most ideal setup.
Yeah.
But that's kind of what I'm doing now with the truck. But the truck gets me a little bit further than a van would.
And you're still very comfortable on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it also is like depends. Like you're not living out of your RAM.
No, that wouldn't be possible.
That'd be yeah.
It'd be rough.
Yeah, you could do it.
Yeah,
but it would be very.
You just wouldn't. You would get over it real quick.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the van. If you had a van and you're like a full-time van,
you can van life it.
Then it's a whole different story.
Yeah. But some of the other things that kind of go in besides the trucks or whatever. I mean, you can do this stuff in Prius, but besides that stuff, some of the things that like I found really helpful is a GPS messenger.
Mm-hmm.
So I use a Somewhere one. There's Garmin. There's Spot. Like there's a couple. I find that to be super useful. We talked about that in the episode with Corey.
Yep.
Just kind of gives a peace of mind. But another one that I've used before is the WeBoost. I'm kind of like in between. I don't know if it works or not, but it definitely gave me some service in Alabama Hills more than I did without it on. So
yeah. I think people get it because
it's not like you're gonna get service from nothing. You're gonna get a better service from something small.
It's a boosted cell service, which makes sense because if you have 1 bar, it might take you to 2, but if you have 0, you can't boost to 0.
Yeah, I mean, like unless it depends on how close you are to the cell tower,
totally,
and how high your WeBoost is.
Yeah. And they look cool. I think that's probably what most people get cool. Anyways.
I think they're funny looking, but
just a massive bowl.
Hey, if they work, they work. But so the other part of like, I guess service and like internet is like just hitting up friggin' Starbucks and like whatnot.
Well, I think that's a really cool part about being a creative on the road is most Adobe products you can use off grid or offline.
Yeah.
So as long as you have like your fonts downloaded, your presets dialed in, just stuff that you're not necessarily having to research for, you can do most of the edits and selects and the really, really simple high level editing on the road. And then when you get to a service, like Kingston mentioned, the coffee shop, or you get back to your office, you have your communication with your clients and stuff afterwards.
Yeah. So basically my workflow is I go shoot, I download everything onto a solid state drive, like an external one. And then I use a MacBook on the road, and then I bring it, and then I'll edit stuff because sometimes I want to post stuff on the road.
Yeah.
And you can use AirDrop with the MacBooks to transfer to your phone really easily.
Yep.
But most of the time I regret doing that, and I rather bring it home.
Yeah.
And edit it down so at home I use a PC because it's just better. And I'm like, damn, I should have just waited to edit these photos on the computer because it's just better.
Yeah.
Like I have better gear, better computer, better monitor.
I mean, your visuals.
So.
Because the thing with it is like, sure, you can post it on your Instagram, and Instagram is already so small of a format, so you're not like really digging in there. But
I just like editing on a bigger screen.
Yeah, you see all the little things on it too.
Yeah,
I can see that.
So I ended up re-editing everything. I do double the work, but that's on me because that's just because like my workflow is just a little weird.
Yeah.
But I think working at the house is definitely more productive.
Yeah,
but it doesn't mean it's bad. It's just, I don't think working on the road is bad. It's just like, I think I just like prefer to work at home.
Yep. I mean, it can take a level of stress off too if you know you're coming home to a lot of stuff and just get this stuff out of the way.
Yeah, because like when I got home, I didn't want to do the video. Right? It's like I'm home, and then I have to like. I mean, I'm getting married on next weekend, so it's like...
Is that next weekend?
Yeah.
That's why you're going back to Utah?
Yeah.
Shit,
on the 10th. So it's like we have other stressors.
Yeah.
But I have to do the video before, so I just locked it down and...
Are you shooting your own wedding?
No.
Just kidding. That'd be funny as hell.
That'd be so funny.
You're literally just like, and I say I do.
Yeah. The vlog style.
You vlog your whole wedding?
That would be so sad.
That'd be embarrassing sad, dude.
So bad. I'm thinking about that. It's hilarious.
I bet you like some YouTubers probably done
I think
that.
we're gonna set up a camera like how we have the YouTube and just like
Film
hit
it.
record.
Yeah.
But we have a professional photographer.
Yeah.
Which I prefer photos versus the video.
Yeah.
And I think that we'll look back at photos more so than the video.
Yeah.
But anyways, so I wanted to shoot this or edit this video.
Yep.
Before I got on, and then basically went back to Utah or go back to Utah.
The one you're talking about, the Red Arc one?
Yeah. So I, shot, edited this video.
Yep.
And I put it, sent it over to the client and then just waiting back for revisions. So with video stuff, I do not like editing on the road. I don't edit it on the road, actually.
No. Also, just working off a laptop on Premiere is incredibly hard.
Yeah, it unless you have a sick laptop, it's not fun.
No.
So photos, it's no problem. But
yeah, Lightroom and Photoshop on your phone is very easy, or on your laptop is super easy.
Yeah. So I think, but one of the biggest things on the road is having the service. And there's apps. Obviously there's Starbucks and towns definitely have
service.
Coffee shops with Wi-Fi or service, right?
Yeah.
But there are apps that will show you service coverage, when you're not near anything.
Yeah.
And you want to at least get something. Those apps can be helpful.
Yeah.
I don't actually use them because I don't need service like super bad. It's enough to be like, oh, I need to like go out of my way to get it.
Totally.
But there are situations where like my fiance needs service to work, right? So
I was going to say that.
Stop. We need to like stay somewhere with solid service for like a few hours at a time and then move on to the next place. We can't keep moving and using the service in and out. So
yeah, which makes sense because I was just going to follow up with that. Was your form of work and her form of work, although you guys are both creatives,
different.
She's very in tune with client.
Yeah.
And the client, she needs to be in tune with feedback.
Yeah. It's much more interaction between the two between the two people.
Yep.
Mine is not like that at all. It's very minimal.
You wait to receive feedback and you edit and then you resubmit.
Yeah.
But which is interesting is I think if I were to be in either one of your shoes, like I'm not a big fan of constant contact.
Yeah.
I think it allows for so much confusion.
And it allows for
taking advantage of too.
Taking more time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that shit's unpaid for unless you have unless your retainer is massive, dude, a client will take advantage of that all day.
Yeah. So I think limiting at this point with the client that I'm working with, it's like we've already been working together. So it's like there's already a relationship there that is kind of understood. It's like we've done these videos before. It's just another version of a video that we've done. Yeah. And it's just kind of like
trust.
Yeah. And you build that over time. So
I think that's smart. So I think the solar is a big, big aspect of.
Yeah.
If I had to dial in one item on life on the road working, I would really want to have some type of dialed in power source.
Yeah. I think, just like the Goal Zero or one of many other options out there.
Yeah.
Little battery. We're using a Dometic PLB.
Yeah.
PLB to power this green light that's over here that you can only see on the Roaming Loss YouTube channel.
At Roaming Loss YouTube. Like, subscribe, share.
But yeah, there's so many of these battery type things out there.
Yep. Another one too is I like my rooftop tent, but I think if I was working, I would be working in my camper shell. Yeah. Yeah. It's been nice for sure. But I think with the weather becoming nicer, you end up wanting to set up a table and work outside, right outside of it. Yeah. But you can still run. That's the glory of that electronic system is or the Red Arc system. It's I can just literally plug in an extension cord. Yeah. And it's just at home. It's weird.
I could just run it out, charge my laptop outside.
Yeah. It's weird because it makes it so easy. You and Gary both run it. I think I probably am just falling behind, and it takes a lot of time to set that shit up.
Yeah, I mean the wiring is a pain, but
It's worth it.
Yeah, I mean it's like you gain a lot from the amount of work put in, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I think it's just amazing though when I've seen or heard of people that like specifically work out of their vehicle or on the road, and they don't even have like an office that they
check into.
I'm like, man, that's wild.
I mean, it's kind of nice.
Yeah,
especially with COVID, it's like we're learning more and more about people being able to work from basically anywhere, and they have job, duties that need to be done, right? But if they don't get done, you would assume that the company would notice even more because it's like there's lack of like interaction. So you may see the actual work not getting done versus like, I don't know. I guess I'm looking back at like old jobs. Like I slacked off a lot on some jobs and like no one noticed.
Well, you're working strictly off of deliverables and deadlines now versus before it was a lot of like personality meetings.
Or like time like spent like at office, like 8 hours. You have to check in and out 8 hours. And it's like, what did you do for that 8 hours?
Yeah, as long as they saw you in the office, they expected you to be working.
Assume that you did something.
I honestly, which is really funny, and I don't mean it in like a bad way, but when I used to work at that footwear company, I left strictly because I asked them, I was like, I need to work remote because I need like Easy was growing, and I was like, I need to start doing my shit, but at home, can you give me the freedom to do more remote working?
Yeah.
And it was a trip because they weren't even that old of guys that ran it, and they were both like very hesitant.
Yeah.
And so at the end of the day, I was like, I'm going to just man up and sorry, I got to go. You know? And so I did. But my joke with my family and friends was like, work from home 2020. That was like my, I always fucking said that in 2019, work from home 2020, work from home 2020.
Yeah.
And then boom, 2020 hits and everyone's fucking forced to work from home. But I saw it coming because I was like, how the world is changing. Everything's online. We're submitting shit online next to my coworker.
Yeah.
I'm not even turning in papers or having to show him anything anymore. He's like, Dropbox me that link and I'll send you back the revisions. And I'm like, literally, I can see him. And I'm like, I can do this somewhere else.
You totally could, yeah.
So work from home 2020 came true. So now 2021.
Work from home again.
No. Make $1 million 2021.
There you go.
just kidding. Maybe.
Yeah, I think a lot of companies, especially the bigger ones, learned that shit gets done either way.
I mean, and
maybe even better.
Honestly.
Because people are happier. I don't know if they're happier, but
in this state, it's different. Yeah. I think working from home, not having to forced to be home, but just working from home and remote working.
Yeah. Well, just giving people the opportunity to live somewhere cheaper.
Yes.
And still make the same amount of money.
Yep.
I mean, you essentially, if you're moving from California and you move to Idaho and you're making the same amount of money, you're making more money.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it's like, why wouldn't someone do that?
Yeah. And I understand like the check-ins. Like if I had an employee, like they always come in and because it's like stuff that we actually need to physically do, like pack orders, whatever it is.
But for like samples, a tech company.
But for like a tech company, or if they were just doing photo edits, which we do outsource.
Sure, yeah.
Why would I have them come in here?
Yeah, there's no need.
I'm like,
and you can always fly in.
Yeah.
Like if you need to check in once a month, like I would be more than happy to fly.
Yep.
And be like, all right, cool. We did our meeting and then I go back. Yeah.
That's wild. And so that's why I think working on the road is becoming more and more in the norm because it's also fun. Like if you're an adventurer at heart and you want to do some cool shit and still make money,
you
build out your vehicle and do it.
Plus, like there's a whole other side of it is you could run your own business from the road. Yeah. Low overhead, do stuff online or like digital products or whatever. There's like the world is like your oyster.
No, seriously.
That's pretty amazing.
I still need to be tied to a desk though. Yeah. But I actually do like like I'll go to Paso or something
Yeah.
and work somewhere else if I know I don't need to like do certain things
Like
in the
the
office.
physical part.
Yeah, and I actually feel great because it's just something different on the road, and I don't need to be looking at a spreadsheet in my office at the same desk. Like that would drive me nuts if I'm always only doing that.
Yeah.
But yeah, life on the road, dude.
Life on the road. Yeah. I mean, if if you wanted to chime in on any of this,
Yeah.
I would love to hear some messages. Like if you work on the road and you have some kind of like sick hack,
Yeah.
I would be stoked to check it out.
Yeah. A secret recipe that people are doing themselves,
Yeah.
That'd be super cool. And yeah, again, if you're following us on Instagram or subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, like thank you guys so much. Leave a review, right? I think it's on Apple Podcasts. You leave a review. Podcast.
Anyways, we gotta wrap this one up.
Yeah.
Camera battery's about to die.
Oh no. Yeah, YouTube at Roaming Lost. Watch these bad boys.
All right, guys.
All right.
It's been real.
Peace.